Yeah, he's on his way.
It's 2 hours.
Well, we'll go ahead and move on. 3. So I think we'll get you over here.
Okay.
Or you can take them all the way. I'm on the clock. All right, we'll call the meeting to order on Thursday, June 25th, 2026, 2:05-ish p.m. This is the meeting of the Branson Lakes Tourism Community Enhancement District. And Miss Angela, would you please call establish call?
Sue Braun.
Here.
Michelle Persian.
Here.
Dirk Smith.
Here.
Matthew Grokoff.
Here.
Brett Stump. Timothy Haygood.
Here.
And Derek Trajan Jr.
Here.
Everybody's here.
All right. Brother Kirk, would you mind giving us an invocation?
Love to. Thank you. Bow your heads, please. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. I'm grateful for this beautiful community we live in. Continue to guide us in what we're trying to accomplish, and your will be done in all that we do. I bless the families that have lost loved ones, protecting this wonderful freedom that we have, and be with those that are injured, be with those that are dealing with addiction, deal with the widows and orphans, Lord. Keep your arms around them all. Thank you for all that you do for us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, sir. All right. In front of you, you have an agenda. You have a motion to adopt the agenda. All right, got a motion, do I have a second? All right, a motion and a second. All those in favor to adopt the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next up, approval of the May 28, 2026 meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes? So, all right, got a motion, second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of approving the May 28, 2026 meeting minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right. Next up, chairman's comments. I welcome everybody. Sorry we're running a couple minutes late. Thanks for your patience. I would say anecdotally, my family was traveling, taking a little vacation out of the area. Wonderful vacation, wonderful time spent with family, celebrating my mother-in-law's 80th birthday, which we enjoyed. We got to spend a little time in some of our competitive set. And I would say that we're, for what it's worth, we seem to be doing much better than the competitive set. So anecdotally, I know Heather and her team have been sharing that with us. I got to see that, hear that. I do spend some time interacting with people when I'm on vacation. So for what that's worth, that's one person, one trip. I get that. I'm not, I'm self-aware, but I would just share that. That doesn't mean anything, but I'm glad to be back home and be glad to be back here. Also, I would like to say congratulations on the world record attempt. I'm sorry, I was on vacation and did not get to attend, but that was wonderful. And just welcome everybody today. So that's the only thing you're going to have to hear from me, and we've got plenty of reports. So we will move on. So speaking of reports, first up, our executive director, please.
Thanks, Chief. Welcome back. Hope it was good travels. We have traveled with family as well. We also are very grateful for the leadership coming with our partnership here with the Explore Branson team. Watching and studying and learning from that. The finance team, what they're working with Angela, things are really, really good. Speaking of Angela, she'll be moving offices inside our building. We're switching hallways. Cole Courier is getting larger. And we are preparing to reduce expenses. Therefore, we will drop it $120 a month next year. So it should be good. But we will stay in the same building, and she still keeps her window. I'll just add that in there. You want to lose somebody, take their window away from them. Just encouraged by the film, all of the things going on with movies in our market, really digging in on studying shoulder season, what's going on in other markets, opportunity studies. And then some of our friends, Michelle and I, have in common studying ITR economics, where we're going to be in the 2030s on a weekly basis, making sure we are in the right space and adjusting as need. And then listening to Matt with his economic development and all things going on with the trip. When I went to Tennessee with the community leaders, it was just can't go on. I could go on and on about that, but I'd like to talk to each one of you individually on maybe some roles we can help with collaboration in this new spirit of collaborating between Stone and Taney County and commissioners and mayors and city managers and chamber leaders. Just really an energy like I haven't seen before, and new people stepping up to the plate. So just been a very, very good kind of a launching pad in the last 30 days. And then we're down 4%, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, but that's not a lot. That's not a big number. And you can just feel the swell of energy going on in this community right now. So being in the community with people, I think, is key. Listening to them, what are the challenges, understanding it, and trying to create solutions. We did get a email back today from Senator Schmidt's office for the hay goods. Now can apply for being at the 250th celebration, potentially sing the national anthem. That just happened before we got here. So
Congratulations.
that's pretty fun. He is doing all the paperwork. I think the background check's going to be a little suspect.
So
But,
if we get a call, we know what to say.
yeah, it came about. Tim called me and he said, "Hey, we got a bunch of national entertainers bailing out on Trump." He said, "We're all in." He goes, "What can you do?" So I made a couple phone calls, and just today we got back. So I'm excited about it. It's pretty cool. But a lot of neat things happening, and I just want to encourage everybody to keep encouraging each other. We're all in this working together, so it's key. That's my report, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Anybody have any questions for Kirk? All right. Thank you very much. Next up, we have the Financial Oversight Committee. Sue, Angela, take it away.
You've got your financials in your packet. The bank balance ended the month, wrong page, with slightly over $1.5 million in the bank. Where I'm projecting on cash flows, everything is looking right in line. Our sales tax, while it is down, is tracking with the projections based on the last 5 years' history of collections. Something new for this time, Department of Revenue paid the interest that's been due from prior periods this spring to the tune of $32,000.
Feeling okay?
I don't know, but I didn't ask and I just put it in the bank and
No,
off we went.
Shocked.
We don't expect to use a line of credit this year. I think everything is well in line, unless we have some fantastic opportunity we need to take care of. Explore brands and revenues are on track. The website ad sales are being collected through a little bit different process, so their revenues are slower to come in, but they're coming in, and right now they are ahead of budget for June significantly, which is exciting. We continue to monitor the marketing budgets. Right now, Aaron and Kaylee are auditing some invoices. We've got a couple of questions on whether some invoices were correctly categorized. So they're verifying that everything is as it should be, in anticipation of preparing a monthly reconciliation report for reimbursement requests and revenues that I will give to FOC every month as part of one of the things we took out of the agreed upon procedures audit process for 2026. Things that we can't match up due to our bookkeeping differences. We're going to use this report to make sure that we're all tracking the same requests for reimbursement and that the revenues are matching properly. There's a corrected budget amendment under new business that'll adjust your line items in the TCED budget to account for the $850,000 marketing budget increase and known changes in revenues and expenses that we've already experienced in the first half of the year. They're primarily due to the end of the Chiefs and city contracts and the lower than predicted Stone County TIF payment. For sales tax, our sales tax was down 3.2% compared to April of 25, and we're still down 4% year to date. But that number is decreasing each month. We're making progress on it. City sales tax and tourism taxes were down for the month by class, but up 1.6 year to date. So they're hanging on. The classifications for city tourism taxes, amusements were down 9.8%. Campgrounds were down 30.6%, and the remaining categories were basically flat. So whether that's due to timing of payments or weather, I can see campgrounds would suffer in this rainy season, but that's all I have.
And in addition, we did the draft audit report with Madison from KPM and we passed with flying colors.
Was there a recommendation from the FOC on that? Is that under your business?
Well, we passed it, we approved it.
They approved the draft,
Yeah,
Okay,
so we'll
Yeah.
see that in August at the annual meeting.
okay, sounds good. What other items do you have? I do have a couple questions.
that's all. I have,
Did we discuss publications revenue? Is the budget just off, or the budget was 83 and we're at 27.5? I assume that's just a timing issue, but
That's primarily vacation guide, and the way they've been operating on cash flow forecasting is to divide that number by 12, and that's the monthly amount. It's not a true what we expect to receive, I don't think, but it is an estimate.
but
Typically, vacation guide ads come in a bit later in the year.
We haven't even actively started selling them yet.
Okay.
It's just been a soft outreach. It'll be more aggressive starting next month.
It seemed early.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking the question, making sure I wasn't missing anything. Thank you. And then the interest from the state, did they send you any statement, any kind of calculation?
Oh, no, they just tell us what period it's for. And I believe it was, one of the deposits was for 2024, and then one was for 2023 and 2022.
Did they give any indication whether that was due to audit activity or somebody just pay late? Or?
No, you just get a generic report in the mail, and that's all the information they share.
I certainly have my thoughts, but I'll keep them to myself. Anybody else have any questions on the Financial Oversight Committee report? If not, you have a motion to accept the Financial Oversight report, please.
Make motion.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second? All right, we got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
I,
Next up, Marketing Oversight Committee. If we don't have anybody here with a report, we can move on. That's just fine.
I didn't even know.
Okay. Well,
Was there anything?
we can just move on then. That's fine. Hey, Kirk, would you, do me a favor, please, and ask our, MOC to, provide a report or, have somebody, anybody was on board wants to say anything they can, but we'll have plenty of great reports from, others. So,
You got it.
okay. And on that, Heather, are you up first?
Yes.
All right.
So I thought we had a really good discussion at the Marketing Oversight Committee meeting, and we went through the digital marketing report, the numbers for TripAdvisor, as well as Datafy and spending to date, as well as some results that we're receiving and performance numbers. And then also went through the TV results for impressions and completions. And it resulted in a really healthy discussion over markets for 2027 and what to look for starting next year, and to really focus on the 100 to 300 mile radius for visitation, and really honing in on targeting those visitors to capture them with price of gas and everything else. And it also resulted in a healthy discussion about what we experienced as the leaders who went on the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge trip, and sharing more information and having more open dialogue and discussion about target zip codes, target markets, DMAs, and rather than feeling territorial about what people are doing and having a high expectation that the CDP is supposed to do it all, but instead coming together and saying, how could we increase our presence if a business is already marketing in a certain area? Why wouldn't we want to come alongside them and market along with them so that we have more grants and promotion rather than it being this is my piece of the pie and only I get this piece of the pie conversation. So I think that Sue obviously was in attendance there. So was Brett. If you have anything to add on that topic, I thought this was a really healthy, robust discussion that we had. And we also talked about public relations and the efforts that we've made and some of the stories that we've seen from our efforts. And give a highlight of our impressions, the advertising value equivalency. And then we saw a demo yesterday of the website and the changes that have been made for the events, live shows, pages on Explore Branson, and they're great. They're addressing the issues, the challenges, the problem areas that we had, and it will be ready to launch by next week. And it eliminates a lot of the clutter that was on those pages. It's really user friendly. The moment someone lands on the events or the live shows page, there's an automatic right at the top, type in what you're looking for or date field, and no scrolling, no doom scrolling, which really helps. And underneath each, I'll just use Hey Goods as an example. It would show their place card, their images that they have uploaded. It will show the dates, times, the cadence of what their shows are. And then down below that, there's actually a live active map that they can click on and touch the dates and see actively, this is when the show is. And click it from there and go directly to David's website and then book from there. So there's no ticket booking feature, nothing like that on the Explore Branson site, but it is much more user friendly and dynamic. So it's addressing the problem areas that we see.
The individual business controls that.
Yes, they're able to go in, log into their account and add their specific dates because their date ranges are different. Obviously, not every show is the same. But if they have a one-off matinee and then they have usually nightly ones, the cadence follows rather than before. It was just this hodgepodge jumble of dates, and it was not user-friendly at all. And then we included some industry news and we shared the budget, but I think that's separate that we're talking about later on the agenda. And we just shared some industry news, and Tuesday evening we made a presentation to the city of Branson about film industry and made our first unofficial ask of matching $1 million starting in January for the film industry efforts on behalf of the city to come alongside TCED. It was well received. There was no vote, and we anticipate being invited back.
Any questions for it?
All I can say is I know that website has been the biggest thorn on your side, and hallelujah. Have we used all the 60 hours yet?
No.
Oh, good.
All right. We're putting through it though, so.
Okay, good.
Thank you for that report.
Absolutely.
It's so awesome to hear and see all the things that are going on. Are we hearing any rumblings of people feeling some relief from gas prices going down even just a amount of money?
Yeah, I think we're seeing that, and we have even more contesting that's being launched. We have one that
Nice.
launches next week on some Christian radio formats, and another one launched this week in Kansas City on the NBC affiliate there. So I think it's working. We're getting a lot of traction on that, and yeah, it's positive. We did have a lot of eyes on our news for the World Record that reached 38 countries worldwide and has currently 8 billion views. Sorry. We have a really nice page that we've added to the program, so it's some video on there, and Gibbs World Record is getting ready to do some social media features on it as well. And those flags, just as a reminder, are on sale. Commercial Street Flag Store, $20 a flag. I've seen it's benefit the veterans more, but.
Would it be possible, Angela, for you to send around a reminder or information on how we get access to all the wonderful information that's on the Branson site with that type of thing? Either it's Heather, or if you guys can work together, just to remind the lovely board members on how we get access to that. 'Cause I know it's out there. I go poking around on it myself. Any other questions? If not, sales next.
Right, so, first of all, just wanted to talk a little bit about Rally Point Branson. We just did that event as a kickoff for the Flag Day celebration weekend. And thankfully we dodged the rain, unlike today. And that was amazing. We had it outdoors this year at the aquarium of the boardwalk in their parking lot. And had several of our Branson partners there, some vendors, some veteran service organizations as well. And proud to say we doubled attendance from last year. So really excited that we had people coming through. The aquarium was wonderful to offer their attraction for free for families that came through. And that was a huge driver. We had a lot of people going through the aquarium. We had a full stage set up, 2 local bands performed. We had a flyover, which was exciting that got to happen during the national anthem, which was performed by the Bald Knobbers. And then we had the lieutenant governor speak as well as the mayor, and it was just a great event. We had a great time. It was hot. We all did definitely sweat while we were out there, but it was a great event to kick off just a really beautiful patriotic weekend in Branson. Of course, again, with the world record happening on Sunday. And we had all kinds of people in town for that. That was exciting as well. So Rally Point was a great success. We're looking forward to continuing that into next year. So I just wanted to talk about that.
What was the attendance?
Around 300 this year throughout the whole entire event. So yeah, we're excited to continue to grow that event too. This is only the 2nd year. So hoping we'll be able to build some momentum around it into next year as well.
Ashley, excuse me.
Yeah.
Did Freddie Brock lean in this year?
He helped it spread the word a little
Okay.
bit on it.
Yeah, he's from Fort Leonard Wood.
Yeah.
That's been an ongoing relationship. We're trying to get them to come down the street, 90, 100 miles and
Yeah.
and lean in on that.
Yeah, definitely.
We might engage a couple of visits with those guys up there.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
We're part of that association,
Yeah.
that AUSA.
AUSA,
And
yeah.
I think if we could lean in on them, maybe
Yeah.
we lift that up a little bit. But
Absolutely.
Happy to help.
Totally
with
agree.
that.
And another note too was that we're moving this into August, which is a better time period for it's a shoulder season for us to drive visitation for. It's the first weekend in August, which is not getting into school season yet. And part of that conversation is around National Guard has some of their training during this particular week that we did this year. So when we went to visit them and talk about Rally Point, they were all during training, so they could not come down because it was just not a good week for them. So moving that away from those dates when they typically have this annual training that happens, I think could help leverage some of those partnerships.
Well,
as
maybe
well.
we get a marina involved and get them on the water.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awful. Had some there. I was able to swing by
Yeah.
after the like we had dinner downtown, drove out, and felt like everybody in town was downtown right for a lot. I'm sure that pulled away from the event. So I was just curious with the Jeeps, was there attempt to coordination, or in the future would we coordinate with them to see if maybe they I just feel like we were competing heavily with
We were.
the majority of people. So
We were.
in fairness to you, but I just didn't know if there was any.
Yeah, I mean that's just how it works out sometimes. I think the Flag Day celebration was something we've been talking about prior to Jeeps booking that exact same weekend. When we're grateful they were here. It was awesome. He was excited for downtown. I think that's another conversation we've had about why we should move Rally Point to a different time of year. If we're investing in things like bringing Jeep brands to the destination, it doesn't make sense to compete with ourselves. Let's keep that there. Let's keep it rocking and rolling and doing what they want to do, and then let's build another weekend. So that's kind of the strategy behind that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we did see some Jeeps come through. The really patriotic ones that were decorated. They did drive through, and that was cool. So, yeah, it was a great weekend for it, for sure. Just moving into some of the things in the report. We're on track with our goals for the leads. It did dip a little bit this month, which is normal from our fluctuation of when leads come through. We're about to gear up into another heavy travel season. We'll see those leads increase. So not too concerned about anything there. Looking at Faith Express is the next thing there on the list. We attended this year. We've been going Faith Express for quite some time. It's a great conference for us. Obviously, that's one of our driver markets or driver segments is the Faith market for us. And we had 19 appointments. We had 5 leads. Almost by the time Carlos got back in market, they were in his inbox, which is exciting to see that that they're just really engaged. And because of the relationship building that Carlos and the team here have done with the Faith Express team, they asked us if we would do a bid for hosting their conference in 27, which is an awesome opportunity for us to bring faith leaders here into Branson. And we're happy to say they have chosen us. So that's exciting. That'll be happening next May in 27, and we'll be able to give more details as we work out some of that. But excited about Faith Express happening in 27. This last month we did travel to Pittsburgh, Jocelyn and I was here. And we did a site tour of where we're going to be hosting our Under the Stars event for SIDA, which is happening in August. And that was an incredible meeting. We're hosting at a science center there that is really close to all of the other things downtown. And it's right on the water, and it's an incredible space. I'm really excited to be able to utilize that to showcase Branson in a really fun and unique way. While we were there, we also delivered some pies from a local bakery to several of our AAA offices that are located there. Heather had met with them in January, so it was a great way to touch base with them again and give them a little just piece of Branson hospitality while we were in market. So that was a great trip. And then MPI WEC, which is Meeting Planners International World Education Conference. And I'm sorry, Angela, you have to see that every single time we type it in our expenses. That was a great one. It was it's a great way for us to just get in front of meeting planners that are really looking to grow in this industry. It's an education conference, but there are appointments. So we had 12 appointments with meeting planners there, and have some leads coming back from that. And then the last thing I wanted to touch base on, kind of building off of what I was talking about with the Science Center in Pittsburgh, for SIDA, for the annual conference this year, we're doing our second installation of the student video series. The plan is to do a new video every year leading up to hosting, which is in 2030 here in Branson. And so we have worked with Jason Spencer, and he did a lot of the shooting this last month for the second installment of the student video. We're really excited about it. It's a STEM focus, so it's all about educational experiences that students can have here in Branson, but it ties in perfectly with our entertainment piece. We're really excited about bringing this to life. It's a really creative way to showcase Branson and all the learning and educational opportunities that are here in addition to our entertainment scene. So really excited to share more of that. I just spoke with Jason this morning. We should have a draft version of that in the next couple of weeks. So we're excited to see that come together and be able to debut that again at the SIDA conference. So that's what we have going on in sales.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody have any questions for Action? All right. Next up, sports.
I will be giving the
Okay.
sports report for
All
Christina because she is out today with All Access with Andy Garcia filming. And so really showcasing our destination. And it's very exciting if you get a chance, read through her sports report that's included in there. But it is going to air on National Public Television. It's a documentary style film. It'll feature our Branson Recplex, the Ballparks of America, the State Park Marina, and different things. So it's going to be a really big deal, and estimated audience reach of up to 84 million viewers nationwide, and some 30-second commercials that will air nationally and regionally on ESPN and Fox platforms. So, and on top of everything else, they have 155 teams playing in Branson this week. So,
I knew it was a
sports
lot.
team has been knocking it out of the ballpark, pardon the pun. There were a total of 7 sporting events supported in May by our organization. Key highlights were AOC Cornhole, Branson Major, and 2 AABC World Series. That's Nolan Ryan and Willie Mays World Series Baseball. With a total estimated attendance of 9,854, with a breakdown of 3,095 athletes and 6,759 estimated spectators, with an estimated EIC impact of $5.4 million. So, sports tourism, sports, just attendance continues to grow here. And Kirk mentioned our community leadership visit we went to Rocky Top Sports Facility. It was incredible. It was amazing. And we got a lot of takeaways to bring back with us and hopefully help us move to the next phase of accomplishing having our own indoor sports facility. We learned a lot of what not to do when you build. Or if we could have looked back and done it over, we would have built 8 basketball courts instead of 6 because we could be filling those today. And then just June sporting events outlook. There's 11 tentative events scheduled for this month, June, at Ballparks of America, Branson Recplex, and Branson Convention Center. So that is Christina's report, and I would encourage you to go out and read some more of it because it's very enlightening and very interesting.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. Any questions on the sports reports? Okay. And then, as always, anything else you would like to add, Pam?
Yeah, I would like to take a moment to say thank you to the TCED for allowing Kirk to attend our community leadership visit to Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg. It was an eye-opening experience. Brad Thomas has been talking to us about this for quite some time. My board tasked me to make sure that we had a community leadership visit scheduled for this year. Timing, trying to get all the right people in place, took a little longer, but we were able to accomplish it. It was amazing. We had 19 people from Branson that attended, and then we had 2 from Holst Builders and International Residence Hall from the Wisconsin Dells that joined us when we got there. We had Nick Plummer from the county, we had Alex Williams from the city, and Angie from the convention center, Brad Thomas, and we just and a whole plethora of other folks that went with us. But I think the takeaway from that is we made sure we had the right people attending that could come back and do some things and create change. We had our debrief with all the attendees yesterday after my board meeting, and they debriefed and shared it with the rest of our board that didn't go. There was so much enthusiasm and so much feeling of goodwill. And I think Heather mentioned earlier, it's like, let's stop looking at county lines, let's stop looking at city limit signs, and let's start working together as a true destination. And we got some takeaways from them on how, there's 3 separate cities there. And they all are very appreciative of their own unique individual community, but they all work together along with the county and the state to make sure that they're optimizing everything. And so there's a lot of really great takeaways, and I wanted to offer to you. Since we've had our debrief, we will be putting together a PowerPoint presentation, and we will be sharing that at City Hall to the Board of Aldermen and to the mayor. And we would be very honored if you wanted to add us to your agenda at some point so that we can come and share that feedback with you all. Overall, very positive. Brad Thomas called me when I was leaving the airport, talked to me all the way to Arkansas. And he said, I've never been more excited or more happy about the future of Branson. So those are big words of encouragement. So our team done a great job putting all the right people in front of us while we were there and seeing all the right things. So just wanted to say thank you again, Kirk. I think we'll echo my sentiment that it was definitely a very productive trip, and it was definitely worth the time that we took to go there. So thank you.
Awesome. So let's put that on the agenda when you guys are ready.
Okay. It'll be
Let's
soon.
get with Kirk and Angela. When
Not
you
letting
guys are
any
ready.
grass grow.
Any questions on any of that? All right. Thank you all very much for the reports and the wonderful information and the time that goes into it. We know that that is extra time. We appreciate that. Next up, we have announcements and public comments. Anybody have any announcements or public comment? Yes, sir.
Counselor, you have a visitor with us?
Yes, I do.
Are you counseling someone?
Yeah, no, she's counseling me. I make it somewhat of a joke that whenever I take on interns on specific projects, I want them to tell me when I'm pushing too hard, because I want them to check me the way that they will check clients in the future. Somebody who's checking me very well this summer announcements. Caitlin Knitsky just finished her second year of law school at UMKC. She's a past employee of our firm when she was attending jury. She's in her second summer of internship with us. I hope that someday she'll be with us full time, and maybe she'll be seeing you in the future, because she has mistakenly decided that she's interested in local government.
Encourage her, Patrick.
And she's particularly good in land use development, which is where I've been using her this summer.
Wonderful.
And we'll continue to use her in hopes that she will check.
Okay.
Thank you all for having
She's
me.
also a past soccer player at Jury.
Oh,
Nice.
Did you grow up here?
Yes, I went to Springfield Catholic.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Nice to meet you.
did you happen to know Leah McDonald?
Yes, I played 1 year with her.
Okay. That's my partner's daughter. So
I love her. She's awesome.
Good
awesome.
soccer.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Excited to have you here, and excited for you as you finish up law school and hopefully come back to the area.
Here's the slide.
Thank you.
Any other announcements or public comment? Snag remarks. Seeing none, we'll move on to old business. Old business, you have in front of you the 2026 budget amendment. It is what we previously talked about, broken out into some additional detail. Heather, Angela, anything you would like to, or anybody would like to?
This is in your packet, this is the TCED city budget side by side.
Wait, you talking about?
It's in the bigger packet,
No.
the last page of the bigger packet that you've got.
This one?
Yes.
So we had spoken about at the last meeting, seeing a side by side of TCD and the city. Derek gets a different one than that.
I got
Okay,
it.
you got it, all right.
Yeah.
Just to give a comparison of what the investment looks like, obviously the dollar amount, the total dollar amount is different. But you can see how there's specific items in our agreement that are actually earmarked for expense. Ozark Mountain Christmas, the downtown, veterans military, live music shows. That the two separate items that were part of the 250th this year and the hog rally. And then the shows attractions co-op used to be something that was in the TCD budget as well. And now it's only in the city side of the budget for shows and attractions.
Yeah,
But
Jesus.
wanted to just give the comparable.
Thank you. Thank you for this. This is very helpful.
And we discussed it at MOC as well.
So is the MOC recommendation to approve the budget that's presented in front of us? Do I understand that correctly?
Further under new business, there's a line item for that budget. But this budget was just informational that Heather wanted to bring to you all.
Oh, okay. So
Only
this is
because
just
it
an
had been, it had
information.
just been questioned.
Yeah, got it. Thank you. I'm
Curiosity.
sorry.
Yeah.
So, to be clear, for your reference, as requested, if anybody has any questions, speak now or ask later. Marshall.
So Chair, hey, I just want to say, as I kind of sit now as an outsider and watch these meetings, time after time, things that have been asked for over the years continue to get accomplished, whether that's the movie and all the stuff we've done with Great American Family to this is just another example of things that have been asked for in the past. So I just have to say a huge thank you to Heather and the team for that, because it's certainly been discussed. So
Thank you for that. Well, I certainly agree. Certainly agree. Well, this is helpful information to have. Obviously, we know there's two pots of money. We try to, you guys do a great job trying to coordinate that and do coordinate that in making sure we're spending out of the buckets appropriately and not duplicating where we don't need to. So thank you all for that. And thank you for presenting that. Since we have any other questions on that, we'll move on to the next new business. First up on the new business, annual report format.
This is the time of year where Heather shares her plan for the annual report format, and that was presented to MOC last week. And it's pretty much a review of what has happened, a forecast of what's planned, and some of the highlights during the year. And that is what MOC is recommending we continue with. So,
So just for maybe those that haven't been on the board and those that are back on the board, when we say annual report, we're not talking about the TCED annual report format. We're just talking
We're
about
talking
the
about
annual.
the annual marketing report for the annual TCED board meeting in August.
Okay, then we are talking about
We're
the same
kinda-
thing. So we do need to be more specific. So the plan is to cover what?
Continue the format that's been used, which is reviewing what happened in 25, talking about what's going on now, and forecasting where we're going.
Okay. Will we be, I assume we'll be, once again, hopefully with the city's permission, having it at City Hall, should be great. And then will we have any videos or anything like that that we're presenting this time around? Probably, maybe. Okay, fantastic. What's that? You're gonna do a song and dance? Is that what it said? Oh, great. Great. Have you?
Practice it.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. Well, let's put that on the agenda, please, for the end.
Highlight them.
All right, sounds good. Anybody else have any questions on it? Next up, 2027 marketing plan discussion.
Heather asked to be in front of all three of our groups this month to talk about
Okay.
ideas and priorities, and she's the best one to handle that discussion.
Like I said, we had a really good discussion at the MOC meeting about looking forward, and there was actually a pie graph chart showing historically over the last 5 years that Angela put together that was really helpful, I think, to the MOC to be able to look at how much has been spent on marketing in the past and how much it's changed. And we've increased the amount of money that was spent on marketing. And I think the general consensus was to keep those efforts going and to really drill in on that 100 to 300 miles away, putting more money into those markets than others, and then getting more targeted on specific website language and messaging when we are sending out things that are harder to track, like on general traditional television, and being able to pivot and look at those different mileage variation based on seasonality as well. There was a lot of discussion around summer has further distance out beyond the 300 miles, but then bringing it back down 100 to 300 miles in other times of the year. And then there was also discussion around having a research firm look at our advertising effectiveness. And I don't know how many of you have been part of a process like that. That's an expensive process. But looking at investing in that in 2027 for being able to hire that research firm and saying, examine it all, what's most effective, what could change, and what are some pain points, but areas of that need attention. So looking at the budget, we'll be getting we have a conference that we go to, Destinations International, in July, and many of those contacts are there. So we'll start talking to them face to face and getting bids and basically gauging what the structure would look like and what the cost would be able to bring back and say, here's how it would fit into the budget.
Heather, do you mind if I share what you're gonna attend, or do you want to talk?
Oh, no, go ahead.
She's got tremendous bullet points at this meeting. Film workshop that'll be at this DI meeting. Future planning for destinations, decisions made that define destinations look and what they will look like by 2040. And then destination innovation through AI era, which we brought up here in the last 60 days. So it's gonna be money well spent, and then getting it back onto that, how that can affect our market. So that'll be literally the same time we're meeting in the board, but we'll have a report when she returns from that too. But I was encouraged by that they're actually attacking those kind of really down to earth things that we're discussing right here in our market.
Interestingly, I learned today that Microsoft, as an example, is moving their payment platform for the utilization of AI to a token-based system. So basically, high users will pay high fees. So something to be mindful of as we consider the utilization of AI in the future. Is that aspect of it. And then we will also need to consider the social aspects of the utilization of AI, given the high utilization of energy, water, and its effect on our environment. That will continue to be something we need to be mindful of. So
Yeah.
I had 0 conversations about that, and I come back from vacation and I've had 20. It seems like this week, oddly enough. Awesome. Heather, were you looking for any kind of feedback from us, or was
But I'd love to hear if there's anything that you all are thinking that you would like us to consider, if you'd like us to research anything, proposals, specific markets.
Heather, I want to talk just quickly about first-time visitors versus repeat visitors. I'd be curious what other people say, but our folks report back to me that what they are seeing this year is a higher percentage of repeat visitors, lower percentage of first-time visitors. Such that we have had to try to figure out how to change our marketing to try to capitalize on the repeat. Feels like our message might be stale to some of them for our company, not what you're doing. When you guys are putting your marketing plan together, do you look at what is going to attract first-time visitors as opposed to repeat? Are there different marketing plans, or do you just generally, we're just shooting out to get brains in there and get people here?
No, we working with Datafy as our digital agency, and then at Parent Cadent for our TV platforms, they actually provide us with 2 sort of weighted scales to say, this is for your new market that you haven't tapped into before, and longer play, more viewership, all of those things. And then your audience, that is your repeat visitors, is being served separate content, either, how it's written, the way that it's presented. So it's definitely a strategy. And I think that's where having that research firm be able to look at our tactic on all of that too would be a good investment to be able to say whether that's working. And I think what is happening in our geopolitical climate, just everything in general, gas prices, all the things, that's definitely impacting whether we're reaching a new visitor versus a repeat visitor. So there's so many dynamics that we've got to consider when we're putting it all into play and weighing the cost of where we're putting it.
What our research has shown is that in these somewhat uncomfortable times, the repeat visitors are higher because they're more comfortable coming here because they've been here. And we haven't been able to trigger or spark to get these other first-time visitors. We've not figured out how to activate them and get them off the couch to come.
Yeah.
That's the feedback we've said our research has been.
I think that it's the same. I think it's very similar. Absolutely.
Matt, are these call-ins or these face-to-face walk-ups? What?
Everything. So we touch every person at every stage of their vacation planning. So this is what we're getting feedback in market. It's feedback when we're calling people. It's we're touching and talking to people every single day. So
Gotcha.
I think there's something to be said for that as well. And I know that we're limited on serving up visitors content in this destination. And I think that is one thing. Matt Adkins from our economic development came to me on Tuesday and was like, how many pictures did you take while you were in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge? And said, I actually didn't take any pictures. I went for a run and everything. The only pictures I took were screenshots of all the ad and content I was being served from the destinations we were in. So there is something to be said for being able to do that. And we are limited with where we're allowed to serve up content and we're not supposed to be serving it up here. Sometimes you need to serve up content to your visitors, even while they're in market, to continue to get them doing the things that you're suggesting that they do.
Can you go into that a little more for someone who's new and doesn't know what you mean by that?
So when you,
I know what you mean by it. Clarify the
Right.
question. I'm sorry. You said you're allowed to and not allowed to.
so
Help me with
we're restricted with our boundary of advertising at least 30 miles out. So
Got it.
not geofencing and retargeting any visitor who has been served content and then serving it again while they're in market.
which is extremely powerful. So I'm curious about what you spoke earlier, not just now, but several agenda items ago. talking about pairing up with some of the businesses on the marketing, because there are a lot of businesses that spend a lot of money on marketing.
Yeah.
And what we are doing is we are driving the cost up for all of us to advertise when we're competing for the same space.
Exactly.
And so if there is a way to come up with a cohesive strategy where that our money would go further for everybody if we were working together as opposed to working against each other.
100%. And that was an idea that we actually threw out to the MOC was, in Gatlinburg, they offer a co-op opportunity with their big players, basically the destination drivers. And they have an investment pot of theirs, it's 650,000. And then the partners come in with either a matching investment or more. And then they have side by side co-branded advertising. It takes the, Dollywood and Gatlinburg, a billboard with both of their logos on the same billboard, and delivers a stronger message than just Gatlinburg or Dolly by itself. So that opportunity is there. I've already started putting together a program of what that could look like, where we already know that our bigger players with more money to spend are already in specific markets. Why wouldn't we want to come alongside and create a co-op opportunity, whether it's connected TV, whether it's digital, whether it's out of home, on billboard placement? So we can certainly do that and make that something that we start making available from 2027.
Well, and you get more reach because
Yes.
you're that 100 to 300 mile, but we advertise 475 and beyond. And I'm
Yes,
sure some of the other people do as well. So
absolutely.
there's a whole chunk there that we could use. We could help each other with.
Yeah, I agree. And that's where the partnership comes into play. And together we do more than assuming that the CVB is in charge of doing all these things and then everyone else is doing all their own things. It's more strategic and we're aligned.
Excited to hear those discussions taking place. I guess we need to, to Derek's question, I need to make sure that we're all on the same page, that the restriction is not one that the board has intentionally put. It's in the statute that defines our organization that restricts it. So this is not because we want to limit our contractors' ability to do things. It's not because we want to interfere with their ability to do their job and do it the fantastic way they're doing it. It's a limitation that's statutory in nature. So, and I know that hasn't changed, but I just want to keep perspective. It's like, you asked a question, I want you to have that answer. That secondarily, I know in the past, I don't know, my history may be aged, but in the past, we've done, obviously, the TCED started the co-op with the shows, and that co-op has ran a gamut of various other very different versions, which is great. Regardless of where the funding is being drawn from, we've also done a program with key stakeholders for billboards, and we've done co-branding, co-marketing for, like, with the airport and things like that. So we've done this before. So there's precedence there. That's a great thing to keep considering. So I think and I say this, Heather, because I want everybody on the board to be reminded, we've done this before. This is not new. It may be a new concept or way to do it or whatever, but conceptually at a high level, the board, the district has done this before. So there's precedent there. I think something we should continue to investigate and learn and do and see what makes sense based on what you find, Heather. But I think it's also important as a board to keep perspective that that's at least at 100,000 foot view, not new. And we've done that before. So just keep that in your minds as you consider these, as they are brought up from Heather and team on that. I think two things that regularly come up that we get questions on, which you're not going to be shocked about, is we need to be prepared to discuss digital versus quote unquote traditional, which I know you get that question. I'm not asking the question now, but I know that will always come up when we're doing our marketing plan. Which is great, and I know you'll be prepared, as you always are, Heather, and your team will be prepared with the facts and the research, and because that's what you guys do, which we appreciate. The other thing I would say is, it would be helpful for us to know if there's, to your commentary about key stakeholders going after key markets, if there's a key market that another stakeholder is seeing that's been fruitful and we're not going out or going after that, either adding that to the 27 marketing plan, or, and again, these are all things you've thought about.
Yeah.
I know that. I'm just maybe stating them in Derek some way. But it would be helpful also to consider if we need to do a targeted, like outside of the 27 marketing plan, is there a market that we need to target, whether it's a seasonal market, whether it's a new market. I think we should consider that on top of the 27 marketing plan, I guess is what I'm saying. Do we need to consider putting a special pot of money towards a market or two markets to test the waters and see? So I would just throw that out there as a consideration, not saying we're going to do that or that we should, or that's what we have to do. It's just a thought for the group. And I think what I'm hearing from this session is give you some thoughts, give you some, what are you going to be looking for? What maybe should I be prepared to answer with the 27 marketing plan? So that's just my thoughts. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
So are you saying that you cannot, I know you can't do it when people are here, but can you geofence and pull historical data to get those people to come back to Branson? Or are you not allowed to mess with any of it in market?
We're not supposed to be serving that content in market, and thus we're not capturing that in market to serve them content again.
Yeah.
We're restricted with that distance.
Wow.
Now, we're still tracking and measuring what's coming in.
Yeah.
And we have data, obviously, but we're not, it's a restriction, yes.
Is there a way to remove that? Is there a way to at least put it up for discussion, or is that something that's not?
It's statutory.
Wow.
Change the statute.
Wow. Could be changed.
Hey, listen, it can be changed. Anything can be changed. I'm not, but that is a whole separate conversation we would need to have.
I mean, I can just tell you in our show marketing, we regularly geofence ourselves and our competitors and serve up ads to those people both while they're here and after they've left, and it's extremely effective.
I don't, I make, well, yeah, I don't just, I don't discount, I don't doubt, I'm just stating what the facts of our district formation is, right? And it's not about not geofencing and gathering data. Heather's not saying that, and she's articulating what you guys are articulating. And I just wanted to observe for the group. That's not a Heather thing. That's not a CDB
And
thing.
it's
That
not
is not a.
TCED.
It's just a, hey, this is what the statute is.
Right.
If you want to champion putting together a group to go lobby to get that changed, God bless you, and I will pray for you. And you can certainly, but feel free to do that. But we as an organization actually cannot do that. We can't even advocate for a renewal of our own tax, as I understand it from prior legal counsel. Patrick, please feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. But what I would say to you is I was only bringing that up just to articulate that this was not a mandate that they were given.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting.
They don't like to be operating handcuffed any more than I like to be operating handcuffed. So, well, hey, listen, let's move on. I just wanted to point that out, right? So, and again, remember the district was formed to market outside the district to bring people in. And I think sometimes it's healthy to remind ourselves the why. I'm not going to be a history nerd.
And respectfully, sir, it's not, this isn't the only destination who is,
Who has that?
there are other
That's good.
destinations who are
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
I've worked in many destinations who are,
Sure.
some of them have 50 to 60 mile boundaries, so it's not unusual. It's one of those things that would be on our wish list.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
If it could.
Tim's gonna set up a committee. He's gonna gauge some interest.
He's
That's
gonna
gonna-
do it when he goes.
That's
to
gonna be the
Cincinnati.
treasurer, and Derek's gonna be the lead marketer on the deal.
Tim's gonna take it all the way to the White House for us.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Trump.
Please, feel free. I mean, look, if you could have a UFC event on the lawn at the
Yeah,
White
easily
House,
get this
I'm
It
just-
seems
it's
pretty
all about-
simple.
Yeah, jump motorcycles and move.
I'm just saying.
Mr. Hagood.
I'm all for it.
Mr. Hagood goes to Washington.
Make a movie about to go to.
Any other things for Heather? If not, I think we can. Heather, did we give you what you were looking for there? Anybody? I'm not telling you can't. I'm just saying. All right. Next up, budget amendment recommendation. As I understand it, we have before us a proposed budget amendment that was proposed, approved, recommended from FOC, MOC, any OC that we have. Is that correct?
I found some errors in that, thanks to Aaron's help after FOC, but it complies with the $874,000 increase to the marketing portion of the budget. I had a couple of inaccuracies in categories, so this is the correct set of numbers for what they plan to do with the spending, and that was approved by everyone going forward.
Do you believe that this would be in spirit different from what they
No,
all
sir.
proposed?
I do not.
And is our contractor comfortable with those changes? We good with those changes? Aaron,
They're actually revenue
Heather?
instead of
Ashley, Pam, anybody else?
Yeah.
All right, with that, we have a recommendation to approve this as modified for some clerical items. Do I have a motion to accept? Or motion to adopt? You would be the correct statement.
Motion to adopt.
Got a motion to adopt? Okay, with that, do I have any discussion? I would just say, I think this is in keeping with what we had already passed, so this is just a formal process to adopt that. Seeing no questions, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, does that take care of what we need to take care of? Awesome. Okay, budget amendment recommendation, 2027 marketing budget estimate recommendation. We did not coordinate this, my apologies ahead of time, but I'm betting this is the number conversation. Tell me what my number's going to be.
in June, we're supposed to provide a number to our contractor. So FOC has
Thinking maybe I might set up.
polished their crystal ball and decided what the forecast for sales tax growth should be for next year, and they've arrived at a 2% forecast for increase. So I've gone
Over
through
current budget,
over current budget.
before or after this budget amendment.
Budget amendment didn't change on sales tax projection
Just
for
making sure.
26.
Thank you.
So I've projected your 2% increase, deducting all of the fees that we know we have to pay, and guesstimating 2027 revenues for grants and Explore Branson, and come up with a number slightly over $8.2 million for the marketing portion of their budget. And that's what was recommended by FOC Tuesday.
So just for reference for folks that maybe not number oriented, are we saying where it says 9.8 right now in the first column of this little sheet, just as a reference point, is going to be 8? I'm looking at this.
Yes. No.
Okay.
Your number on your blue sheet includes the admin fee.
Okay.
Kids off.
Okay,
It's
so-
7.6 million, I believe,
So
roughly for
right
this year.
now, if I were to look at this right now, we would say roughly, we would be spending after amendment and before admin fees, 7.7 million.
Mhm.
And you're proposing 8.
0.2, so roughly $500,000 increase.
This is my back of the napkin way of getting to what are we spending or expecting to spend today or this year versus what we're expecting to spend next year or anticipating or budgeting or telling him our best guess. So right now, after budget amendments, it's 7.7. We're saying to our contractor, use 8.2 for your planning purposes. Get into the apples to apples number, if that's okay with everybody. Just, anybody have any questions, concerns? Want to add 5%?
No.
I hope so.
You hope so.
Well, I mean, we had that kind of overrun in our tax revenue.
You want to do a over under statement first. Not on record, don't write that down. Delete. All right, not seeing anything to the contrary, do you have a motion to accept the recommendation that was presented by the FOC?
Second.
Second, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the recommendation from the FOC, please say aye. Any opposed? Thank you for the FOC. I know that's not an easy task. Thank you to Angela. Thank you to Heather. Thank you to Aaron. Thank you to everybody. Anybody left up?
Who made the motion?
Brett made the motion. The second was
Derek.
Derek made the motion.
Derek.
And I second.
And
And
Sue
Sue
seconded.
seconded.
Sue.
Thank you. To all those listening, thank you for listening. All right, so that takes care of all of our new business. With that, I thank everybody for the time. We are going to go to closed session pursuant to RSMO 610.021.12 to discuss contractual issues. If I believe Heather and Ben would kindly stay if they're available. Is there anybody else that needs to stay?
You do need a motion.
You have to stay. I will. I'm just making.
You should make
Will you
Angie
crane
still
after
stay.
every movie
Just
scene?
because.
Thank you,
I'll
God.
make a motion.
I'll make a motion, go and close that.
I've got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.